What's up, traders? You'll watch this video for Wednesday, August 14th, showing you the SPY here. Really a big move in the SPY today from kind of the low of its 4-day range to the high. That's a big candle for the SPY. If I show you intraday, 5-minute candles, look at that move. And then it kind of went sideways the rest of the day, which really isn't unusual after a big move like that. Couple highlights for those of you that couldn't make it to chat today. MTC had this, that's not an errant tick. It actually went from below 3 to over 13 before settling in at 7 something. Melissa pointed it out, I think, through 6 here, and I hadn't even noticed it. By the time she pointed it out and I'm looking, I was like, wow, that's a great call, because it went to 9 in like 15 minutes. The one thing I am proud of is as it started to come back down, and I'll show you what it looked like. Looked like that. I put in the chat, MTC potential whole number flush buy zone play, right? And I was bidding right there in that buy zone. And if you're not a member in our chat room, we've got a free video on how we play pullbacks, a free webinar. So go check it out. If you don't have it, you don't have a link to it, you can shoot me an email. I'll get you the link to that free webinar. But this fell right into that, right? Super strong, coming down, whole number, kind of right in the middle of the buy zone. I bid at 688, and it actually went down to 677. I was underwater 11 cents for the blink of an eye, because in that same 5-minute candle, it was all the way back up again. I got filled at 688 within that same 5-minute candle, 795, and look what it did after that. Crazy, crazy move. Very proud of that, though. Perfect whole number flush buy zone setup. Called it in chat. So that was my best trade of the day. Also called Tilray, TLRY, after it hit the half here, which was a high of day break, came back down, and there was this clean seller on the tape right back at 44.50. Called it through that seller, 44.50, and it ended up going to 46.25-ish, I think. Had a really nice trade in that one too, getting long literally right there. My last shares I sold were right up in here. You know, that was a really nice trade. In after hours right now, I think it closed out after hours at 41.27 because they had earnings after the bell. So this is what we talk about when we say we rent them. And also when I say I don't hold anything overnight, I won't even hold my wife overnight. Got a really good trade of people anticipating a nice earnings release, right? Sold at the top there basically. And then after hours, watch people get slapped that held into earnings, right? Anyway. So they're actually, you know, if they didn't have earnings, Tilray would be one of my top picks for tomorrow. Look at that long sideways base curling up, but it's gapping down in after hours. So anyway, what are we watching for tomorrow? AVYA, big volume day for this stock, closing pretty strong and topped out right at that whole number 12. We love whole number inflection points, especially if it coincides with, you know, a significant place on the chart, which would tomorrow because it would be a break of today's high, right? So we're going to watch that one through 12. RUBI, really nice pop here. It's been flagging, curling right back up. Probably the best looking chart setup I have going into tomorrow. FENG, this is sort of a sleeper pick, but JD.com was really strong today. And I think this is sort of in the same space. It says Internet Information Providers, China, which is basically the same space that they call JD. Nice volume spike today for the stock. Worth noting that still only 320-something thousand shares, but nice looking daily candle there and closing pretty strong. So maybe a follow-through day there tomorrow. MTC, I already showed you this one. Closing well off its highs, but you could also argue well off its lows. Really big volume for the stock. I'll be looking for a red to green or something like that in MTC. RKDA. This is just one that I have on watch because it's so crazy, right? It was $2, and then in 2 sessions went to almost $7.50. Nasty candle today, but also a big bounce. So as a day trader, we're going to watch that and see if it gives a clean setup. Pinterest, which is PINS. All-time highs after it IPO'd was right here. And then recently it challenged that, then pulled back, then ripped through it, all the way back down. But a nice inside day and a pretty strong day today. So I like PINS for a potential long. PZN, I think, was being touted as a sympathy play to MTC. Well, with that volume, which is big for this stock, and a strong close, 200-day possible target tomorrow, that one's interesting. So that one's on watch. YY, I think also kind of in the same space as JD. I think it's Chinese either way, and I believe they had earnings after the bell. I could be wrong about that. It doesn't look like they had too much action after the bell. closed at 53.64, and after hours is trading in the 52s. Looks like maybe this went to 56 something in after hours before coming back in. So we'll see if that whole space gets a bump, and we'll be watching this one. It's not a really pretty daily chart, but I think when I first discovered this, it was higher in after hours, and it looks like now it's not. So we'll see. Just, it doesn't cost me anything to put it on a chart. TRNX, really nice breakout today on big volume. So we'll see if we get a follow-through day, maybe a breakthrough, $1 or something. 200 days all the way up at $2. I don't love this stock, but I still think it's worth watching. DNJR, another one that I think was being touted as a sympathy to MTC. Had a big day for this stock. Strong volume and a strong close. So we're going to watch that one too. Can't say I trust it, but we'll see. GEVO, actually a decent looking chart all by itself, but the reason it's on my list is because it's gapping in after hours on news. Looks like it closed out after hours at 285. So, right up around these recent highs. So this one has some room to run if it gets going. We're going to watch that one. GO, another one that, is a strong chart, but it's on the watch list because it's gapping in after hours, 42.33 on earnings in after hours. So is where it closed out, 42.33. So potential gap and go tomorrow. MTCH, Match.com, just another red day. After this big breakout, we got, what, 4 red days in a row? Hasn't given me a buy signal yet for a bounce, but it goes back on watch. And then lastly, FLR, which I don't think it's broken a previous day's high since here. Since it topped out at 33.66, and now it's down here in the 18s. So that one, again, I'm just looking for a snapback bounce. That one has not given me a buy signal yet since I started watching it for a bounce either. So that's plenty to watch. Great teamwork as always. We'll see you all in chat tomorrow. We'll add some gappers to this list, and let's keep the teamwork going. Have a good night. We'll see you in the morning.